The course introduction module this last week introduced you and your classmates and recapped your capacity building role as a VISTA. Getting an organization's fundraising off the ground takes careful planning, and this involves giving consideration to an organization's fundraising ethics, planning processes, and boilerplate communications. And that's what we're going to talk about this week. Designing fundraising activities with sound ethics in mind can help your organization in several ways. When you diversify revenue streams, ethical dilemmas can come into play. Early in the planning and decision-making process, it's important to look at what you are doing through the lens of ethics. Since nonprofits often don't sell their services, keeping the doors open relies on the generosity of others. If donors or potential donors perceive a lapse of ethics in an organization, they might withdraw their support. To apply ethics to your fundraising, an organization must ground itself in who it is and who it is ultimately accountable to, those who your program serves and benefits. While we'll explore a standard code of ethics for nonprofit fundraising, it's just as important that your fundraising activities align with your mission and values. Getting organized or development planning is crucial to your organization for a number of reasons. First, development involves not just the staff and volunteers specifically dedicated to fundraising. Board members, communication specialists, volunteer coordinators, and financial administrators are also involved. You can make the case that every stakeholder brings fundraising value to an organization. Add this to many fundraising methods, and you can see how important planning is for keeping all the moving parts working together. Second, planning is a key to an organization's long-term sustainability. You can never plan too much. Most VISTAs are with their organizations for just a year, but in that year, it's possible to prepare an organization to apply for a major grant the following year, which in turn will fund the project starting the year after that. The planning you do now can help build capacity for years down the road. Third, ethics and your organization's mission, values, and needs form the foundation for your planning. Finally, during a planning process, it's important to set goals that are realistic. The organization should try to create goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. We'll talk about SMART goals. It's kind of cool. Communicating about your organization and its clients using logical and emotional appeal can serve multiple fundraising purposes. In particular, we'll look at the case for support, a documentation that your organization can use as a foundation for its fundraising communications. The two main goals of your messages are to raise awareness and to raise funds. In creating messages that inspire people to act, a nonprofit organization is in direct competition with every other advertising entity your potential donors encounter. To get your fundraising messages noticed, it's important to stand out. It's all right to learn lessons from the corporate world in terms of messaging and strategies. When it comes to creating innovative messages and strategies, the sky's the limit, just as long as you stay true to your organization's core mission and values. Brand building is key. It's important to distinguish yourself from other organizations doing similar work while at the same time creating a clear and organizational identity. Storytelling is a pretty powerful tool for creating an emotional connection with people who read or view your messages. You can inspire people through storytelling much more easily than through dry academic sounding prose. Okay, so you've already introduced yourself to the Community Kitchen Board and clarified your role as a VISTA. Now it's time to get to work on raising $200,000 for Community Kitchen to develop the Summer Community Garden Project. You'll be focusing on each of these three topics: ethics, planning, and communications. And this will be your early work at Community Kitchen. The ethics task will test your ability to apply ethical codes and the Community Kitchen mission statement to a number of fundraising scenarios suggested by the Fund Development Committee. During a development planning meeting, you'll provide answers based on your reading to questions about the planning process posed by members of the Fund Development Committee also. The communications task has you to read an article that describes several best practices for writing a case for support. You will then look at a rough draft of the Community Kitchen's case for support and make suggestions on which sections of the draft should be kept and which should be left out. By completing these tasks, you'll be well on your way toward helping Community Kitchen get together the funds they need for the Summer Community Garden Project. Hey, during the week, make sure you dip into the discussion forums to contribute to discussions about the coursework and your own service work, and to share your own successes and challenges. Also, watch for a discussion item about office hours, which I'll start holding in the chat room once I have a pretty good idea of times that work for most of you. In the meantime, contact me directly by email or by my telephone with any questions or concerns. My phone number is 541-805-8563. That'll do it now for Module 1. I'll see you around this week. Bye.